Hey, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for being here. We're going to go over today's weekly patch notes as well as a few other items that they announced in the news section. So, again, if you like the content, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and thank you for being here. Let's get into it. So, Super People released their next set of patch notes, and it looks like they're on a fairly regular cadence at this point where they're updating things every Thursday. It seems like evening. I noticed they changed the time this time around. So I think like things were updating at like 10:30 Eastern time or 11 p.m. Eastern time last night, and then everything gets released Friday morning because they're already in Friday in Korea or in South Korea. So a few things. The big focus was they improved the slide controls, which is interesting. I guess I haven't really heard that much. I haven't seen that much on like Reddit or in any of the streamers talking about or like being concerned that the slide mechanic isn't working that well. There's only two soldiers that have the slide mechanic, so it's the Gatling soldier and the Strike Force soldier. So both of those have the slide mechanic, and it's a perk that you would earn. So you don't always get it early on. You'd get it as you level up your character. And so now they're trying to make it so it's a little bit more custom. So sliding is now only activated when the player holds down the slide key for a set amount of time. And this is basically to prevent accidental sliding. So if you wanted to crouch instead of slide, this is trying to help improve that gameplay and that mechanic. And so they've added some settings here, and they talk about these settings. So first of all, they've created a whole new binding for the slide mechanic in and of itself. By default, it's bound to the same mouse, or I'm sorry, same keyboard key as your crouch. So by default, your crouch is C, and so by default your slide is C. And then so if you wanted to change that altogether, you could do that. And then in addition to that, they also added some input changes. So you can toggle crouch and you can toggle slide, or you can hold slide, and then if you hold it, they have a little slider here that says how long you have to hold it before the hold kicks into play. So they've really kind of revamped the slide mechanic, and that's really the big focus of this patch note. The only other patch note which I found was interesting was they removed the all option from the voice chat, which I remember seeing and thinking to myself, like, that's weird. Um, and it's funny that people are using it to either abuse others, which is pretty obvious, especially if you've ever played like Call of Duty at the end of games where everybody's mic is open. Abuse is pretty normal. And then advertising the sale of illegal cheat software. So I found that interesting. So they've removed that altogether. And then it looks like they fixed something with Shotgun Master related to the damage negation description for the level 1 jump training. So that's the big patch note is they made changes to the slide mechanic. The other thing that is interesting is they announced this game mode survey, and I've seen a lot of threads on Reddit about this. Last patch or two patches ago, I think, they removed duos and squads, and they replaced that with trios. And there was a lot of concern or a lot of kind of feedback, I guess, that people didn't like that change. They really like squads, they really like duos, um, I, and they found that trios kind of through wasn't the best of both worlds, even though that's kind of what the idea was from the Super People side. So, and Super People even put out an apology letter afterwards saying, like, we're sorry we didn't update you early enough about doing this, but they wanted to collect data, and they wanted to change the mode up based on some data that they'd already collected. So now they're doing a survey, and I pulled up the survey here. It's a really simple survey. Just asks, have you played the new trio mode? And if you, and yes or no, and then which game mode do you prefer? I actually would like for them to ask. I mean, game modes don't matter personally to me, but I would have liked to ask, like, if you could select which ones you prefer. So maybe I just like solo and duo, right? Not trio and squad, or maybe you just like squads and duos, whatever. And then rate the trio mode altogether, and that's all that I could see. It's an interesting patch note. It's really focused on that crouch and slide mechanic for Strike Force and Gatling Soldier, and then I guess they're trying to really figure out that trio versus duo versus squad playlist because it did create a lot of, I guess, feedback or create a lot of tension in the community. And I think they're trying to figure out what to do next. So, again, if you like the content, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and if you have any feedback, please leave them in the comment section. Have a good one.